Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Just give us another minute or so, and then we will get started. But we're so excited to have everyone. We're seeing that the room is filling up very, very quickly. So we are very, very excited to have you join us on this Friday, September 6th. We do hope that you all had a beautiful Labor Day and are excited for the upcoming weekend. I am joined by my wonderful and ever-loving co-host, Nidhi Mohan. Hi, Nidhi. How are you today?
I'm fine, Michelle. How are you today?
I am doing great. I hope your Friday is going as well as mine, and you are excited for another wonderful introduction to Elevate Me Bootcamp.
Of course, looking forward to it. But before that, how is your Labor Day? Like, what did you do?
Oh, my Labor Day was fantastic. And so while it was rained out, I actually went puddle jumping. I don't know if you're familiar with puddle jumping, but it is exactly what it says. It is jumping in puddles. And
Well,
so
that's a
I used to do that as a kid. I used to do that when I used to go running. So as a runner, I love splashing in puddles. And so as a person who is not a child, not a teenager, not even close to the teenage years, I found it so much fun that it gave me the giggles. I was giggling, right? Um,
that's nice.
and for those of us that are on this call, if you've never just jumped in a puddle and gotten wet and just jump, jump, jump all around, I highly recommend it. It is a contagious form of giggling. Um, Nidhi, what did you do over Labor Day?
Labor Day was peaceful. It was quiet. Spent some time with family. Went out to a mall. Yeah,
I
that's
love
it.
it. Did you just walk around the mall? Did you splurge and have thousands of bags in your arms of shopping? What did you do?
I wish. I did wish. But no, no bags. Maybe a couple, but yeah, not too many. And just wanted to spend a quality time with the family, and that's it.
Oh, oh, I love that. And I love quality time with the family. That's always great. And then, but at least you were out, you were stretching your legs, you were walking around. That's always great. And you could always see, right, just window shopping. But it's just all about that quality time together.
Yes,
Fantastic. Yeah.
exactly.
So we're just about to get started. One reminder, everybody, is as we are going through the presentation, please feel free to put your questions in at the very bottom where you see that Q&A. We will be hosting a Q&A time at the very end of our presentation. So please put them in. We do recognize that all of your questions are very important. We do want to get to all of them, so please make sure that you do add them in. You do not have to wait to the end of the presentation. No question is a silly question. Put them all in, please. So without further ado, we are about to get started and introduce you to who we are, what we are here at Elevate Me. So here at Elevate Me, we are the first online boot camp. We are a disruptor in the industry, specifically designed to help international students such as yourself find that full-time job. We are here to ensure that you are receiving that hands-on experience, taking that theoretical and working towards that practical experience. Our goal with you is to partner with you in that one-on-one and to empower you to achieve your career goals. We all know that you have come here to achieve that American dream, and our mission, what we have been founded on, is to work with you and partner with you to help make that happen. We have one-on-one career support, one-on-one personalized technical mentorship, giving you that support you need to help achieve that dream. Another exciting point that is recognized not only in Ohio, but all over the country is that we are accredited by the Ohio State Board of Career Colleges. This means that the State Board of Career Colleges recognizes our program as honest and as ethical and stands up to all of the other career colleges, all of the other boot camps, and we hold validity and gives you that accreditation to speak about in your interviews, right? That is a huge talking point as you proceed throughout your career. Let's talk a little bit about what we actually do, which is the cool part. You will be working hand in glove with your technical mentor. You will be building on those skills, and building up that portfolio. So taking that theoretical knowledge that you have and enhancing it. Our real-time project, yes, I said real-time, right, with a US-based company, is mentor-led, and it is designed to enhance your skills. You may all have basic skills. Fantastic. In today's market, basic doesn't get you anywhere. You need more. You need competitive. And that is what Elevate Me does. We help you transition to that next level. We all want to get to that next level. Elevate Me takes you to that next level. We help you build a strong portfolio. Your GitHub right now is basic. We elevate it to that next level and help you become competitive. We give you that edge. We show you how to elevate it to that next level. That is why we are disruptors. We know what it takes. Our technical mentor has been in your shoes. He knows what it takes. He partners with you to get you to that next step and elevate your career. You have job search support and soft skill training with your career services team. You are one-on-one with a career coach from day one. From day one, you have a technical mentor. From day one, you have a career coach. Your marketing can begin on day one. Your technical support begins on day one. Soft skills, communication skills, teamwork, problem solving, all of the skills that ensure you stay in that job. We work with you to make sure you not only have them, but they are elevated. We have a dedicated career services exec team that works on your career application materials. I'll get into that more later. And then you have the option to list your boot camp under your work experience, as well as your education. There's a lot of things that we do to partner with you to elevate you to that competitive level. Nidhi, I'm going to let you share a little bit more about what we do with our folks.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And thank you so much for running through everything that we offered on the bootcamp. That was really nice. And yes, as you mentioned, all of this put together is definitely going to help somebody elevate their profile, their experience, their skills required to crack that job and get into a good company as well. Perfect. So now everything that Michelle shared was fantastic. And above and beyond that, what we also offer on the bootcamp is an 8 months money back guarantee. So what this means is once you enroll with us, and from the date of enrollment, in 8 months period, if you do not have a job, you get 100% of your money back. And that's fantastic. I mean, it's just to show our commitment to all of our students. That's exactly why we're doing this. Because what we believe is when you succeed, we succeed. And if not, it doesn't. I mean, that's not the kind of partnership that we want to get into. Apart from this, we do offer also a refund policy, which is not mentioned here. I would really encourage you to reach out to the admissions team to find out more about the refund for policy. But if you join the bootcamp and you feel like, okay, this is not the place for me, you do have the eligibility to get money back in such situations as well. So yeah, I would really encourage you to reach out to the admissions on that. But apart from the money back, we do have a refund policy as well. So yes, over to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Nidhi. I love the fact that we are so confident in what we are able to do, that we offer that money back guarantee. Fantastic. So let's get into a little bit about what you would be doing should you come on board with us. We have a live project. Our live projects begin day one, right? They are mentor-led, and this live project is a real-time project, as I shared previously, that is used to enhance your already theoretical knowledge. You will work, as I shared, hand in glove with your technical mentor on a real-time project with a real US-based company. It is a 2-month project. It is fast-paced. It is awesome. I've seen it. It is incredible. It is something that you get to talk about in your interviews, and it is real. There's nothing fake. You are getting real experience. The next step in our program is the technical skill development. What this is all about is that not only about our live projects, we do offer 2 capstones. While they are optional, just my personal view, I recommend doing them. Why would I want to do something additional? Great question. I'm so glad that you all asked me that. I know I could read your minds. These are things that go onto your GitHub. These go on to your resume. These 2 additional projects for a total of 3, I do very basic math, is that you get to talk about them in your interview. This, again, enhances your already basic skills, right? Employers want to see that you do more. It's not the bare minimum. Nobody is getting hired with the bare minimum. It's a competitive market. We all know this. What else are you doing? Our technical mentor is aware of this, and he is giving you what you need to succeed, which is why it's an enhancement. It's the skills, it's the projects to get you the job. When you do them, good things come. That's why it's here. And again, it goes back to why we are disruptors and we are elevating your career. That leads us to how you are developing and customizing that GitHub portfolio. Your GitHub, from what it looks like now, and I've seen them, they're basic. We take them to the next level. They are becoming more elevated. They are becoming customized. They are becoming professional. They are looking exactly what the employers need. With the help of the technical mentor and the career coach who have been in this industry for over a decade, they both know what it takes to get you a job. With that partnership between you and your technical mentor and your career coach, working side by side, developing that GitHub, you are now seeing what it takes to be competitive, working together to stand out, giving the employers what they're looking for. Also within our course, you have job search support from day one. You will get a welcome email outlining what's going to take place. In that email, please reach out to your career coach. There's the Calendly link. Your career coach is then nagging you, schedule a session, I want to talk to you. There's the career coach. She's there, she wants to talk to you. If you don't talk to her, she's going to come after you again. Where are you? I miss you, I want to see you. Your career coach from day one. Because we care. Your career coach is going to walk you through what that type of support is going to look like. Your career coach is going to reach out to you on any type of mobile devices, all the latest technology that we have to make sure that you are feeling supported. She's going to explain everything that needs to happen because our goal is to make sure that you are successful. We also care about your personal and professional growth in terms of soft skills, because we want to make sure that you have that long-term professional growth. So we work on those soft skills, whether it is the different types of verbal and nonverbal communication, whether it is the team building and the problem solving, the adaptability, all of these things that employers look for in the right fit. We know what it takes to survive in a US company. What we do is make sure that you are elevated to that next step, so you have long-term growth. And of course, as we all know, we are all humans and we care about you deeply. So what we do is we make sure that there is that human side to us. You may reach out to any of us at any time. We want to hear from you. We want to know what's going on. We are here on your side. We are your advocates, and we will do what it takes to make sure that you feel supported. Over to you, Nidhi.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. I mean, every time I hear this, it just makes me wonder again and again. I just so wish I had this kind of support back in the days. It would have made a world of a difference for sure. Perfect. So in this slide, we're just going to go through a very high level view of what the fast track course on data analytics and machine learning course looks like. So our course is a total of 5 months. Okay, so it's 5 months long, and it's designed for students who've just graduated and are on their OPT period. So the clock is ticking. They're worried, will they get the right job? They're looking for support. They're not sure where to look for the right support, and that's where we step in. And since we are looking at graduates who are on their OPT period, we also take weekly batches. So our enrollments are done on a weekly basis, and this is very unique. There are no other boot camps out there that does weekly enrollments. We're doing this to make sure that we're able to accommodate any timeline for you guys. And then, of course, the technical training. So Michelle was talking about the live project earlier. The real data that you get to handle that belongs to an actual company in the US, and it's mental-led. What more could you ask for? All of that goes on for a 2 months period. So you're going to get a lot of hands-on training during that 2 months, which you can speak about even when you're on those interview calls as well. And then the most exciting part that majority of the students are here for, the job application process. We have a very flexible job application process on the bootcamp, which goes on for 4 months. And you're free to start your job application right from week one. There are a couple of prerequisites, which we will be happy to share once you're enrolled with us. And once you qualify with all of the prerequisites, we can definitely have the Career Services executive team start the job applications for you so that there are no delays. And we're going to be mindful about the OPT and your end date and make sure that you get the support that you're looking for. So as you can see, it's a very customized, highly personalized course, keeping all of your needs in mind. Perfect. So over to you, Michelle.
Thanks so much, Nidhi, for breaking that down. So now that you kind of saw that overview of what it looks like, let's kind of look at it in phases. So when you first join, right, there's a couple things that can happen. So while yes, things can happen on day one, it depends on when you join. Nidhi shared that we have weekly. You're right. So if you were to join on an off day when we're not starting that live projects, so you're all aware, they start around the first of the month, right? Whatever that first of the month starts on. However, we do accept on a weekly basis. Michelle, what does that mean? Great question. Because you have those capstones, we want to make sure that you are feeling well prepared. You're doing everything. Come on board. Start on a weekly, whatever that Monday is. Join, right? Once you get on board, you're going to start that foundational training. You're going to be working on those capstone. The cool thing about that, the moment you join, Career Services starts. Career coaching starts day one. So everything is starting day one. You're coming on board. You're building up on that theoretical knowledge. You're working on those capstones. Everything is happening. That's phase one. Again, it really depends on what day you're coming, right? So don't wait out for October. I would enroll today. I would reach out. I would have that conversation. It's still the beginning of the month, folks. You never know, right? That's all I'm going to say. Career coaching, though, does begin day one. So then what's phase two, Michelle? Great. I love these questions everyone's asking. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So now phase two begins. That is when your live project starts. You are now within the rest of your batch. Other members are all on board. You've worked on your capstones. the project happens. As you can see on that header, it says fast track. It is fast track. There's a lot of things that are happening. You've got your daily stand-ups, you're meeting with your live project group, right? Your batch. You're involved, you're doing it, you're working on your career services, right? Your job search materials. Because as you see, career coaching has not stopped. You're meeting with your career coach, everything is happening. But since you had that capstone, you have that training, you have that foundational aspect to it, you feel more confident in that live project. Awesome. And so all of these individuals here at Elevate Me are helping you feel more confident. You feel more confident. Right? Some of you have been out of school for a couple months, right? The summertime, you're in that, oh, I was at the beach or I was doing this. Now we're getting ready back up for school. So let's take a look at phase 3. As Nidhi shared, right? It's a 2-month live project. That doesn't mean career coaching has ended. What's now happening, depending on when you've gotten those job search materials and all of the other requirements done, and you will find that out when you enroll with us, is that career coaching has still continued. That does not end. But now the fun part is your job application support has commenced. That is up to you. As Nidhi shared, that can start as soon as week 1. We want that to happen for you at week 1. That is where that partnership begins. We give you everything to make it happen. That is where we need on you. The sooner you partner with us, sooner it happens. So all of this can happen. Is it interchangeable? Could be. But again, you need to find out all of the fun details upon enrollment. We can't give all of our secrets away. All right, back to you, Nidhi.
Thank you so much, Michelle. No, I agree on that. We have so many things above and beyond this. So I would highly encourage anybody here to reach out to the admissions and get all the details because we cannot share everything out there openly. So perfect. In this slide, I'm going to quickly go through exactly how we're going to make sure that you land the job that you're looking for, because this is the most critical part, right? Everybody's like, hey, okay, I'm aware about other services in the market that offers something a little different, but how is it that you're different, or how are you going to be able to help me out, especially land that job? So let's look at everything, just break down all of the points that we did discuss earlier, but then just talk a little more about it. So as you know, you're going to start off with the one-on-one career coaching call right from day 1. So from the very first day, let's say you have a resume in place, you have your LinkedIn, and you still want to review it. You've been applying from a long period and you're not getting the callbacks that you're looking for, right? There's a high probability your resume is not ATS friendly and it's just not going through. So you can, right from day 1, get in touch with your career coach and have that sorted out. And a lot of other perks, like a lot of things that you can do through the coach as well. Apart from that, there's going to be that 100 job applications done for you by a dedicated team who's there to support you while you're also doing the live project with us. We're going to be very mindful. We know you're just graduated, you're in your OPT period, you're concerned about so many things, right? You're juggling so many things. So just to give you that extra support, we're going to do that 100 job applications a day. We used to love doing this math, me and Michelle, on exactly what this 100 job applications a day would look like, right? So if you take a month, let's take, 30 days, 30 working days, okay? And in 30 working days, there are going to be 100 job applications done on your behalf. So what does that kind of look like?
It's Friday and I had to solve riddles earlier. So my brain is a little fried. So 30 times 100. Oh, I'm just gonna take a guess. 3,000?
3,000 job applications, exactly. Michelle, thank you so much. I love doing this math with you. So yes, 3,000 job applications done for you. You don't need to do anything. Our team is there on top of the job doing all of these applications on your behalf while you get the real world experience that you need to talk about when the interviews are enabled. So I think that's a great point right there. And then, of course, the real time experience, which I was just speaking about. Since it is live data, you're working in a team structure, you're working under a mentor, the real world experience that you're getting is very similar to an on the job training, right? And your mentor is somebody who has a lot of industry experience, especially in the data analytics and machine learning course. The mentor that we have on board has previously been a data analyst. He was promoted to data scientist, and he comes with a world of experience from the corporate side. So he is going to be guiding you through the live project, assigning tasks very similar to an actual work, an actual job. And then, of course, the mock interview training. This is one of my favorite bits. We have both the career coach as well as the technical mentor supporting you with mock interview training. So, what does this mean? Let's say you have an interview scheduled with a company in a few days and you're not sure or you're not as confident to handle the preliminary call, the calls thereafter. You can always share the job description with your career coach as well as your mentor, and then they can do a mock interview practice with you. And that's going to make a world of a difference when you do go out and attend those actual interviews, because yeah, now you're a lot more confident when it comes to what and how you're supposed to address any of these questions. Again, both behavioral as well as technically. So yeah, these are all of the. Yes, Michelle, you wanted to say something?
No, I love this. I love what you just shared.
Perfect. And since we were talking about the 100 job applications today, Michelle, over to you on the next slide.
Thank you. So based on all this great information that Nidhi just shared, what I want to allow you all to see and kind of digest are some of the companies that we are in contact with and that we apply to. These are just a sampling of the companies that we reach out to. So just imagine a sampling. And if you take a look at some of this list, right, and you may be familiar with some of them, maybe a lot of them. These names on here, you're going to find on the Fortune's top 100 companies, best 100 companies, and the best 100, they're rated by their employees. You're going to find these on Forbes best companies, whether it be the best 50 best small, best mid-size, best large. Go check it out. Go onto the Forbes website, go onto Fortune's best website. You're going to find some of these companies. These are the companies that we reach out to. Right? So if you just kind of digest this, maybe even your bank is on here. Maybe you've even surfed and received a delivery package from one of these. Right? I know.
I'm sure there's a lot of dream companies up here on the list as well.
I have a feeling there's a lot of dream companies on here. Right? So again, I'm allowing you to kind of digest a little bit, kind of see this. This is some of it. And again, please understand that it's not all the time, every day, every month, because not all the time, every day, every month, these companies are hiring. But for the majority, yes. So again, and that's just in any given market. It could be all, it could be some, it could be more. Just depends on that market. You all know this. You may have all be looking at job boards. So we always take that into account. Could be this, it could be more.
Exactly.
Right? But I love this list. Oh, all right.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for running us through this.
You're welcome.
Okay, so in the next slide, we're just going to quickly go through what your resume could look like once you've joined the bootcamp. So as Michelle mentioned, as soon as you've joined the course, you have the option to do capstone projects with us. So our mentor has already designed 2 capstone projects. One is on data analytics, the other one is on machine learning, just to get you to enhance your portfolio as well. Michelle is speaking about the GitHub portfolio, which is very, very critical when you are job hunting, especially in these days, because the job market is really competitive. And it's a very good GitHub portfolio that's going to set you apart from the others who are applying for the job along with you. So here's just a sample of what the resume would look like. You can definitely highlight the bootcamp under your work experience section, where you can call yourself a data analytics and machine learning trainee or a fellow, which means that you're getting trained under a bootcamp or even with a company in certain cases. And you're going to gather all the skills required for the job that you take up next. right? In this sample, you can definitely see, we have both of the capstone projects already mentioned. There's also a little indication of what's happening on the live project with the bootcamp. And all of this is, I mean, a lot of students get placed through boot camps, and all of this are credible, viable experience that you can show in your resume as well. And what we want to do is make sure that we get your resume up to par with somebody with experience in the market and make that transition very smooth for you. Okay. So I think we're done with all of the slides that we wanted to go through. We are now very happy because we can now move to the Q&A round. I'm sure there are a lot of questions out there. I can see a couple of questions already coming in. But before that, I just want to introduce, oh yes, Michelle.
Oh, no, I was just say, thank you for the questions that you're putting in. Since I know all of you are so excited to enroll with us and you want to talk to our amazing admissions advisors, you can reach them at 614-965-8005. Again, that number is 614-965-8005. It is on the screen. It is behind Nidhi right there. You can also visit our website and find that Apply Now button at elevateme.pro. That is ELEVATEME.pro. It's elevateme.pro. And of course, you could always reach out with any questions if you're not comfortable asking them here at info@elevateme.pro. We have fantastic admissions advisors. They can answer all of your questions. You can, of course, reach out on our website. We do have that Apply Now button. Please click on that also. And then, yes, Nidhi, you want to introduce our very esteemed colleague.
Yes, I'm super excited to introduce Archit. He is our technical mentor on the bootcamp. He takes care of all of the live projects, and he has one of the most exciting roles in the company, to be honest. So yes, welcome on board, Archit.
Thanks, Niti. Thanks for that introduction.
Perfect. So now we can definitely move on the Q&A section.
Sure.
So Archit, you could take up the
yeah, definitely. Like we have a lot of questions. So the first question is, can I pay after I get a job?
That is actually not how our bootcamp is structured, but then, okay, I'm not sure if I would be the right person to answer this question.
So I believe, if I remember hearing correctly, the answer, you talk to the admissions team on that,
Yes,
because there are different payment options that you would have to go through. There's some paperwork that you would still have to go through. So we don't want to give you a certain answer, yes or no, but I would speak to the admissions, and they can give you how this pay structure works more clearly.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely that makes sense. Yeah. So the second question is, what technologies will be covered in the DAML bootcamp? So probably I can answer that. So what we'll be doing is, we'll be doing a live project. It will go on for 2 months. And the technologies that we'll be covering are mainly Azure SQL database and Azure ML Studio, because like we need to build data analytics and machine learning capabilities on the 7 GB dataset that we have. Also, we'll be using libraries like Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn. So basically, like we'll be working with Python. And then for the visualizations and dashboarding purposes, we'll be using Power BI and Tableau. So yeah, these are the technologies. There's a third question out here. Why do I need career coaching?
So that's a great question. Nidhi, you want to start off with that first, and then I can follow?
Yeah, no, I would love to answer that. And I would like to first highlight a personal experience that I had as well. So my previous experience was in the education field, the educational sector. And in the educational sector, when I was working in the career services or the placements team, what we used to do is, obviously we used to bring companies in, we used to do partnerships, and that is the way to go. So we used to enable interviews for students. when I transitioned and I moved into the boot camp space, I was very skeptical because what I saw were there were hundreds of students who were getting placed through career coaches. So there were no companies which were bought in. There were no interviews enabled through partnerships, but instead we had experienced coaches who comes with a background of HR, who has a background in HR, and who also has like a life and career coaching certification done as well. And I was amazed to see that the students who came out of the boot camp were far more successful in not just getting the first job from the boot camp, but also getting the second job, that's the next job at a higher pay in a better company. So I remember I was very nervous when I had to first head the team. And I was like, okay, how are we going to place all these students? There are hundreds of students in the pipeline and we don't have partnerships in place, right? But then when I really understood it, I got to understand how a coach is able to add more value than a regular placement team in an educational institute, because a coach is not only going to get your resume and your LinkedIn and talk to you about how to get it up in place to make sure that you get the callbacks. They also guide you on a lot of soft skills that is required to crack those interviews, the confidence that you require. They step in whenever you struggle with the time management when you're trying to do the course. There are a couple of other things that's happening. It makes a world of a difference. And the most important piece being that they also tell you how to do active networking in the US job market, which is very, very critical to nailing and getting that next job that you need. And and I would definitely say that this is a partner. It's a partnership that you have with a coach, and it's a very, very strong partner to have, especially when you're job searching, right? Because you're going to learn a lot of things through the coach, which you would never learn just by having interviews enabled for you from an institute. So it does make a world of a difference. Michelle, if you want to add on anything there.
Yeah. So, and this question always comes up, right? Is, oh, I can do it myself, or I know how to do it. How hard can it be? And there's a lot of different reasons. And I'm going to go through no order of importance. One of them, emotional support. Right? Job searching, no matter how confident a person is taxing. It's draining. Right? You're applying for jobs, you're applying into the abyss, right? You're just sending it out there. You don't hear back. You just don't, right? Whether it be ghosting or just goes there, right? There's thousands. And when you don't hear back, how come? And there's all these reasons that flood into your mind. Am I not good enough? Even though you're very talented, you're very smart, people with 20 years experience don't hear back. How come? What is it? All these thoughts. And so that, after a while, does take a toll on you. It does start to really hit you. And so while for some people, it doesn't hit them immediately, it does eventually. And so what that coach does is talks you through that and helps give a little bit of understanding, right? Walks you through some of the reasons. Kind of also along those lines is debunks a lot of the myths that are out there. There's a lot of job-seeking myths that are out there. And an experienced career coach, which we have here, understands all the myths and all the truths about job seeking. Right? There's a lot of things that float out there. There's a lot of things that people just put out there. There's a lot of oh, because this happened to me, this is what's going on. Okay, well, everybody has their own experience, but that doesn't mean it is true. Career coaches understand that. So they help. They also set up accountability. For a lot of people, they need someone to hold them accountable. Just like you have trainers at the gym, right? Just like you have somebody when you were in school, a teacher, all that. Coaches set up that accountability that I know I have to report to someone or at least show up to a meeting. I want to feel like I've done something because it feels good for me that coach is there. A career coach or any type of coach is not there to yell at you, doesn't judge you, doesn't make assumptions. But what they are there is they're on your side. Don't get us wrong, right? Coaches aren't there to tell you all of the great things about you. You have your friends and you have your family to do that. Coaches are there to be honest and to be transparent because they are there to help you succeed. They are on your side, but to help you succeed. They're going to tell you what's real. You want at least one person in your life like that, right? That's career coaching. Career coaches are not going to tell you, do this, do this, do this, so that way you don't learn. You learn from career coaching. Career coaching it's not easy, right? Because you are dumping on them, right? You end up sharing more than you realize. But what they do is they take all that information and make you better. They challenge you. They make you grow. That growth makes you become a CEO, makes you become vice presidents.
That's right.
That is a career coach. That's why people need them. But let me rephrase that. That is why people want them. That is why people continuously come back to them. Because they help them develop into the better version of themselves. Here at Elevate Me, that is what we do. We take your version and make you elevated and make you better. That better version just enhances.
Yeah,
That's
that was a great answer. Yeah,
Thank you, Arj.
thanks for explaining everything in so detail. So we have another question. It's September, and if I enroll right now, when will the team start applying for me and I will start getting interviews?
Michelle, if you want to take that, you could definitely take that one.
That's a very good question. So there are 4 components that we require, right? So it is September, you're right. But there are components that we require for you to start. And when you ask when will the team start, it's really a matter of when you achieve and complete those 4 components. So as I kind of briefly mentioned, is on day 1, the moment you enroll, right? So should you get accepted, you come on board, immediately. The moment you meet with your career coach, you are explained all 4 components. From that moment, as quickly as you and accurately and perfectly you do those 4 components, marketing will begin. Right? That's applying. From there, it is expected that interviews will start to happen. Right? Unfortunately, my crystal ball is in the shop. So I broke the first one. I had to get a new one, and then that one's not working. So I had to take it in to get repaired. So I cannot accurately predict when you will start getting interviews. Just can't. Like I just don't. Once it comes back, I will be able. However, if all 4 components and you get a green thumb, meaning the career coach and the technical mentor are both in alignment and we both feel that everything looks good, then yes. However, as I shared, on day 1, you are given all the materials to make it happen. It is a partnership. You have to do also the work to make it happen. So that's kind of the onus is on you. When you are able to make it happen, then the team can start doing it. Hope that answers your question.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Michelle. It does. Yeah. So I think the next question is for me. What will be the real-time project look like? Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, with the real-time project, the technologies that we are going to use are mainly Azure ML Studio, Azure SQL Database, Python, and its associated libraries. So what we are trying to do with the real-time project is mimic the real world scenario, like how if you go into a company, what kind of project you will get over there. So we are trying to mimic that scenario, and like you'll be working in groups of 4 to 5 people. So you will be collaborating with your teammates, and you will be assigned different tasks using the project management tool Jira. Also, like basically, yeah. We'll be using Jira as I mentioned, and then you'll be having daily stand-up meetings. So everything like what you can expect in a real-world project in a company. So we are going to do that. We have a 7 GB database. That's like we've got the data from a company who's in the tech and entertainment space. And the requirements are like to predict the revenue, predict the profitability. So yeah, that's what we can expect with the real-time project. So the next question is, what if I don't end up getting a job?
No, I'm pretty sure with all of the interviews that's enabled and all of the mock interview training, and especially the live project that the students are working on, is just a matter of time before they get the job. Like I'm very, very sure. And anyway, what we've mentioned earlier in the PPT as well is that in case, even in 8 months, you haven't got a job, you get your entire money back. So you're safe, you're secure. You don't need to be worried.
And I would we would take a look at all the components to understand the fears that you have of what happens if I don't get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of other components to that answer to make you think, why wouldn't I? And so we would all look at all of that before we would.
In most of our experience so far in the bootcamp, what we've noticed is a lot of the students have this question simply because they've tried a lot of job search on their own and they just don't get a call back, or they're just not able to get through. And then there's that nervousness that, oh my God, okay, I've been trying for months, it's just not happened. How is this bootcamp really going to help? Right. So there are a lot of reasons why students just don't get a call back sometimes. It could be because their resume is not modified for the job role. It's not ATS friendly. Maybe they just don't know how to answer a sponsorship question. There are a lot of factors. So once the students are on board and they get trained on all of this, it's easier to navigate the job search market. I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it does. Yeah. So we have another question. The student is mentioning, won't it be too late for a student on OPT?
Okay, I'm going
maybe to enroll on this bootcamp. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what we're looking at is I can see the following question after that as well. So I understand where the student is coming from. So basically, what Michelle was trying to say is, yes, there are 4 components. It's not 4 modules that you have to go through. So just to make it very clear, as soon as you've enrolled into the bootcamp, let's say you've joined the September cohort, let's say you've joined next week, right? Immediately, there are a couple of prerequisites that we need for you to submit. This would be to make sure that you have the right resume, your LinkedIn. You'll have to take the mock interview with both the career coach as well as the technical mentor. The reason why we're asking you to take the mock interview is simply because we want to gauge if you are really market ready or not. And if there are any areas of improvement, our team is there to support you and make sure that you have improved on all of these areas. And then we can immediately start off with your job search. So it's not like you have to enroll into the bootcamp and complete 4 modules. You can start off your job search right from week 1. So if you enroll with us next week, right from week 1, it could be even next week, it could be the week just after that, we can kickstart your job application process. But as Michelle did mention, it does depend on you, because what happens is sometimes the students are on board and there are some updates that is required on the resume, and the student takes time to do those updates and come back. That's basically why she's.
Let me share something, because there's a deeper question in here, or there's a deeper theory. Is a couple things. One, there is the myth of September is a hiring quarter. Every month is hiring. There's no such thing as a slow period. Nobody's hiring people. Every period is, and we have a process that works. Again, that's a myth. And why do I say this? I've been doing this longer than I care to admit. So these are little things, but there's another issue here is getting things done, being prepared, and it's going to be too late. Folks, you can apply for thousands of jobs. Some of you have. But if you are not prepared for an interview, if you are not properly prepared, if you do not know how to answer a question, I'm being serious, please listen. If you're not understanding what I'm saying, please ask. If you are not ready for an interview, and there's a lot of steps to do it, and I'm saying this from someone who's been interviewing for decades, and I've gotten every job because I practice. I don't have to send out hundreds of resumes. I don't think I ever have. It's not because I'm an American, it's because I know the process. If you are not ready, doesn't matter how long it takes. You can get an interview. You're not going to do well. It is competitive. It's competitive for everyone. Whether you are a US citizen or an international student, it does not matter. It is competitive. I have friends that have been laid off, and it has still taken them a long time because they are not ready. They have assumed they know how to interview, and they don't. I talk to them. I know they don't. So again, I'm stressing, it does not matter if you send out hundreds or thousands and you do it today, go ahead. If you are not practicing, and if you don't have a GitHub, do you know how many that our team, Archit and myself, have seen that don't have a GitHub on their resume? Right there, you're not going to get an interview. I'm going to be honest. I've seen the GitHubs that have come through. They're not good. I'm going to be honest. You're not going to get an interview. Again, it doesn't matter how many you do. And I'm being honest. I'm the career coach. This is what I do. I am honest. You will not get it. So by us having these 4 components, it is to make sure you are getting and you are passing not just the first interview, but the second. As Nidhi and I have shared throughout this entire presentation, and with the help of Archit, our goal is your success. We know what it takes. We are not here just to give you applications. That does not help us. We want you to be successful. That is our main mission. I understand you all want marketing. I get it. We hear this nonstop. However, if you are not ready, it doesn't do anyone any good. You're not happy. You're not achieving that goal. Can everything be done? Absolutely. We've proven it. We have it working right now. We know this process works. You may believe me, you may not. But you all know, because you're here right now, that you've been applying for thousands of jobs and it hasn't worked. If it worked for you, you would already have a job. But it hasn't. We're here to help you. Again, you may not like it. It may sound tough. But we know what works. We want to help you. It all goes, as I said, hand in glove. Right?
Yeah. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for that. Yeah,
Mhm.
we have another question. Is my certification from you guys any useful to the companies?
Can you say that again, please?
Sure. Yeah. Is my certification from Elevate Me any useful to the companies?
Yes.
So, like, I think probably they are talking about the certificate that they are going to receive after completing the boot camp.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So our certificate, the bootcamp certificate that you do receive, as we mentioned earlier in the presentation as well, we are accredited by the state of Ohio. So it holds a lot of credibility. So it's not like, okay, it's just some random certificate that you get from someplace. Even tomorrow, when you want to go back and you're going through, the visa transitions, and you still have to go through a lot of questions, even in the future, you can always rely back on this certification. And bootcamp certificates are credible and viable certificates that HR and recruiters do consider. I mean, there are hundreds of students out there, thousands of students in the US job market that get placed every year, every month, in fact, on a continuous basis. So companies are aware about bootcamps and how it kind of bridges between the experience that or the knowledge that you gain through universities and then the experience that you require to do the job. So, yeah, it is definitely a credible and viable certificate that you receive in the end.
Sure. Thanks, Niti. Yeah. I think we have time for one more question. Do you have network of companies who you will be promoting my resume with?
So there are companies which know about Elevate Me, and what will happen is you will have your profile will, they'll have better visibility onto your profile. It's not like we guarantee partnerships, like how I mentioned there are a lot of university that partners and then they bring placements in. That's not the strategy that we have on the bootcamp at the moment. But what our team is going to do is, we have a list of companies that we've identified already, which does sponsor H-1B visas. So we're going to target those companies and see if there are roles which are suitable based on your background, the course that you're doing, and then we definitely do the job applications there. And at the same time, we will also teach you on how to network successfully in the job market, which is very, very critical. And now I've mentioned this before, also mentioning it again. You can definitely get an interview enabled and somehow we push you through, but the job market right now is very dicey. A lot of people get into the job and then they lose their job as well. They're in just for a couple of months and then they lose their job. So it's very, very important that you know how to navigate the job market, and that's the skill set. And but I like to call it a life skill. I mean, we obviously help you with the technical skill and to help you implement that knowledge, but we're also going to teach you a life skill, which will come in handy, trust me, any number of years in the future. So yeah, that's the strategy that we have in the bootcamp.
Yeah, thanks, Niti. Thanks for that. Yeah, I see that there are a lot many questions coming in, but unfortunately, we just have this much time. So yeah, this webinar takes place every Friday at 3 p.m. EST. So I encourage you guys to join in at that time and drop in your questions. Yeah.
I'll be happy. Yeah, I'll just be happy. I can see, I think Michelle, you're also typing, and I'll be happy to take this one last question as well before we wrap up for the day. I know there are more questions coming in, but please feel free to reach out to the admissions team. All of the details is here right in the background. You can pick up the number and the email addresses from here. So the question was, I do not have any experience in the field. A lot of the companies require 3+ years of experience. That is very, very, very true. There has been a lot of tech layoffs that's happened in the market, and a lot of people with experiences though are competing with you even on fresher roles, right? But what you must understand is when you gain that live project experience through the bootcamp, you are going to be able to speak just like any person with the data analytics experience in the market. There are a lot of students out there, I'm sure you're aware of this, a lot of international students out there who gets unfortunately netted by these consultancies. And the consultancies usually hype up the resume, they put in a lot of fabricated information into the resume. Basically, there's a lot of fake experience put up just to help you get the job. But if I was an interviewer and I'm interviewing a candidate, and here I have somebody with 3 years of experience, but it's not really able to talk about a real world experience versus somebody with 2 months of experience on a boot camp or 5 months of experience in a boot camp, but is really able to talk about the live project or the experience that they've gathered through a project, I would definitely pick up the candidate with the right skill set. So though you're nervous, I understand it, I get it. You do not need to be worried. Yes, it's possible to get a job, even though you do not have a lot of experience to show under your resume. That's what we're here for, to make sure that you have the right experience to show and to make sure that you are able to talk about the right experience in the best way possible. Okay, so I hope that answers the question.
I think that's great. And I think, right, so just I'm looking at time. I want to be respectful of time, give everybody, right, it's their weekend. But thank you so much, everyone. Again, as Archit shared, we are back here every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Please come back and join us, and then you can ask the same questions that you have, and we can put them in, and we will be more than happy to answer them. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We loved having you here. Thank you also again for your great questions. They were fantastic. Have a truly blessed weekend. And to my beautiful co-host and our wonderful, awesome question asker. And we are so happy you joined us. You
Thanks, Michelle.
you were fantastic doing the questions.
Great. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.
Weekend,
Have a great
everyone.
weekend, everyone.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.